All right, we're here with Coach Kevin Hadsell, men's and women's cross country head coach, and you had two big wins at Bowling Green this weekend. Just talk about that real quick.
Yeah, both the men's and women's team ran really well. The men's team, I think, like I've said all along, I think that they have the potential to be one of the top 3 teams in the MAC, and we got out well and we worked together as a team. That was kind of the main goal, was to run together for the first, say, 2 miles, and then kind of do a little every man for himself type of deal. And it went really well. It was incredibly windy there. It was so windy you could almost get blown over, and which was tough because the first 800 meters or so of the race was straight on into the wind, and then of course they had to finish into the wind too because of the way the finish line was situated. So, but they handled it well, and it was a good first meet for us, and I think that we'll build on that in the next few weeks. Next time we get a chance to race again. And on the women's side, like we talked about last week, was a chance for the freshmen and sophomores that aren't in our top 5 to get a situation where they can be competitive, and I wanted to see how tough they were, and they did a great job. I mean, they got out well, and they continued to move together as a pack, and they finished really well. There's a huge hill, only about maybe like 300 meters from the finish, which is just about the most inopportune place you could put a hill on a course, and it's incredibly steep. I mean, you can almost reach down and touch the ground in front of you. And the girls, we haven't really done any hill work, and they were able to handle the hill really well and finish incredibly strong. Crystal Studer has made a huge improvement, I think, and then the freshmen. 3 of the freshmen were in the top 5 there, and ran incredibly well. And so it was a great meet overall. I wanted to see how tough we were, and with those women, because I don't necessarily predict those women that ran to be in the top 5. Although they're certainly challenging the top 5, but I wouldn't predict them to be in the top 5 right now. And that really shows me how strong we are as a team, and I think it's going to be pretty surprising to people next time we race.
So now that you've seen some of the newcomers and some of the younger people on the women's side, and you already have some idea of your returning players, how do you think your women's team stacks up against some of the other great teams you've had here at Toledo?
I think that this team has the potential to be the best team that we've ever had, and that's saying a lot. I mean, we've had some incredibly good teams. The thing that has held us back, I think, in the past, when we've had the great teams, the teams that were in the the top 25 in the country, was the fact that we weren't very deep. We had the great front runners, Brianna Shook and Evelyn Legatt, and these women that were some of the fastest women in the history of the MAC, if not the fastest women in the history of the MAC. But we were really thin we'd have like 5 good ones, and then if anybody was little dinged up or sick, then we really struggled. I don't think we have that problem right now. We've got some great front runners. We've got incredibly good depth, particularly now that I've seen these freshmen and sophomores, how much they've improved already. We've in 2001 we had 3 of the top 18 women at the region, but we didn't make it to nationals. We missed by like 1 point because our 5th run was like 65th. And in 2002 it was a similar situation. We went 1-9-24 at the region, and that was like, I want to say it was like 70-something and 80-something, and missed going again by 1 point, And so now I think that this team could be. It could be the best team that we've ever had, and that would certainly be saying a lot.
And besides this team, what would you say has been your best team that you've had here at Toledo, and how does this team stack up against it?
The best team overall, I would say, was 2002. That was when we went 1-9-24. I mean, we had like 8 women, I think, that ran under 10 minutes for 3,000. And 2 of which were under 9:30, which is incredibly good. 3,000 meters is kind of what I look at in terms of being able to be good in cross country, and that team there was the best team we've had so far, the one that was able to really be competitive at the NCAA level, at a higher level. But hopefully this year I'll be able to look back and say, well, at the end of this year, this was the best team that we ever had, and then hopefully I'll be able to say the same thing next year. You know, that's the goal at least.
All right, now looking forward, you guys are off for 3 weeks, and you'll be going to the Roy Griak Invitational in Minnesota on September 25th. How does the training change in September as compared to August now that you've got this 3 weeks of just training?
We just finished up, like when we raced this past weekend, we were racing tired because we were putting in a lot of work and certainly a high volume of training. We continue the volume through September. We don't really change the volume, but kind of the makeup of what we do changes. We actually we have a thing that we have here at Toledo that I call it Hell Week, and it has nothing to do with fraternity Hell Week. I mean, this is about an 8-day stretch where we put in some incredible training. You know, training that's maybe unique to us and unique to Toledo. So we're kind of gearing up for that right now. We took a few days off after over the Labor Day weekend to kind of prepare ourselves for it, and we'll ease into it over this weekend. But then we're gonna the next couple of weeks we'll put in some training that really gives the women a nice push, and we'll have another Hell Week going into MAC and regionals. But women are looking forward to it. Like they literally can't wait, because they know that the training that we do, and they honestly feel like we work harder than other schools. And it's very, as I said last week, it's very blue collar. I mean, it's very unique training system, and they literally can't wait for it. Like that's all they've been talking about for like 2 weeks. Is I can't wait for us to go through Hell Week and then head to Minnesota and to Missouri and the All Ohio, and even though we'll be racing a little bit tired, I think that we'll put on a good show.
All right, and just give us a quick preview going into the Roy Griak, where you guys will be facing some of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, you know, we've been to this meet many times over the years, even dating back to when I was coaching at Coastal Carolina. I want to say I was at the 5th annual, and now we'll be at the 25th annual. So it's actually spanned my entire coaching career going to this meet. On the men's side, I'm really excited. I think that they've got a chance to, particularly because of how packed in we are, and with good guys, I think we can finish in the top half, which would really be saying a lot on the men's side. I mean, the men's field traditionally is even stronger than the women's field at that meet. So I'm really excited to see exactly where we stand with them. And Central Michigan's men will be there too, whom we've never beaten on the men's side, ever, literally ever. So that's going to be a good test for us. And on the women's side, you know, looking at the field right now, and there's about 32 schools, and about 14 of which are what I would say are the top 14 out of the top, like say 40 schools in the country. I think we match up really well. Certainly when you're in a big meet like this, you've got to have a high placer. You have to have somebody scoring in the single digits. And with Aerie and the way that she's running now, she's stronger than she's ever been. I'm actually really excited to see where she's at based on the things that she's been able to do in training that she's never been able to come close to before. So having a high placer and having great depth and a good pack, I'm excited to see where the top 5 that we held out from this meet are in relationship to these girls. And so I think a realistic goal for us is to finish like the top, maybe say like 6. If we do that, then I would say we help ourselves in terms of getting to the NCAAs.
All right, thank you, Coach, and good luck with your training, and we look forward to seeing you on September 25th compete at the Roy Griak Invitational in Minnesota.
Okay, thanks a lot, bud.